Which team has had the highest attendance? I'll give you that highest attendance of 11,944 for a Challenge Cup quarter-final.
I'm going to go with the Leeds Rhinos.
Incorrect. It was Hull FC in 2017 last year against Castleford.
Right, well, I hate the quiz.
Okay, here's a tricky one. The next two ones were I thought were hardest. So, question 5. Only 2 teams have played in all of the last 3 years of the Challenge Cup quarterfinals. Who are they? So 2017, 2016, 2015, only 2 sides have been consistent.
Right, well, I think, Leeds have definitely been in 2 of them, and Wigan have definitely been in 2 of them. Hull have definitely been in 2 of them. I'm gonna go away from that entire list and say Wakefield is one of them.
Incorrect.
And I'm gonna say Hull are the other.
Hull are the other, joined by Warrington.
Warrington.
That's
So
the 2.
I got half a mark on that then.
Get half on that one. And finally, in those last 3 years, how many referees have been used for the Challenge Cup quarterfinals?
In the last 3 years?
In aggregate, how many referees have shared the refereeing duties?
So 12 games?
Yeah.
How many different referees have refereed those 12 games? Right, there's been a bit of a turnover, hasn't there? So I'm guessing Silverwood must have still been about for that first one. And maybe even Joe Cobb was around at that stage. And Bentham's been injured, so he'll have done at some point those. Ewer, Thaler, Child, Smith will have got one last year. He was flavour of the month. Campbell will have got one 2 years ago when he was flavour of the month. 9.
So close. 8.
Oh.
So I'll show you the Bentham, Child, Silverwood, Hicks were the first 4, and they've been joined at various points by Kendall, as you correctly pulled out, Thaler, Hewer, and Campbell.
Yeah.
So there we go. So pretty abysmal on that one. Getting half a point.
Not my finest hour. Not my finest hour.
I was hoping you'd get a few on that one, but there we go.
Well, if I could have, there was the 50-50 one that I got wrong, which really set me along the wrong path. I think question 2. After that, you can understand my answer for question 3 because Leeds are the best attended side.
There was logic behind it, yeah.
But hey ho, so they must have played at
I think they did, yeah.
In that one last year. There you go. Right, okay. Any recommendations?
Yeah, I've got a couple. So first one is just as a day out or a place to visit. Is Bristol. So went along on Tuesday. I had off, and I had the whole week off, and went for a mooch round. Went find a few places, explore a bit. Went to a few shops. Found a tea shop, of course, as I would do. But
did you have warm or cold tea?
I bought warm to take with me, but I had a cold one from there. So they made me a very nice iced tea, which was a strawberry lemonade. So it was a really nice one that I took with me. So that was a takeout. So yeah, really nice. Lots of sort of little independent places as well. So if you like that sort of thing, really good for your beer as well. So it's.
Bristol's been it's disappointing storyline rugby league wise recently, hasn't it? With the
Sonics? It has, yeah. And there's some interesting stuff came out in yesterday's today's League Express as well around
that basically
the development. Yeah,
it's not looking like there's anything going to happen with this League One bid. The Sonics, at least there was some optimism that they'll be back in the league next year after kind of maybe working a bit harder to get some new players in, maybe expanding that sort of pool this year, doing that out of the league structure because you can't compete with no players. So potentially, so from that point of view, that's a positive. And you had a second recommends.
Yep. And it was the BBC Biggest Weekend, the music festival they've been having, kind of trying to replace Glastonbury in some respects of the hole it's filled in the schedule, but also kind of the big weekend that they did on Radio 1, which replaces the old Radio 1 road shows, if you ever went along to one of those as a kid. I certainly did.
Yeah, the big weekend's been going on for
a few years, now. Yeah, and this year they've combined with all the other BBC radio stations to have it all in one thing, so they've had them all going on simultaneously. So they had 4 different sites. They had Belfast, up in Perth in Scotland, down in Swansea was the Radio 1 part, and then Coventry had Radio 3 one day and Radio 2 another. And some really good performances and pretty much some music to take whatever you fancy.
I caught a bit of Taylor Swift and a bit of Rita Ora, and that was about as much as I was able to sample, but it did look like it was a
yeah. I mean, I watched quite a lot last night. Watched Taylor Swift, then Paloma Faith, who was at her mad best, and
she was at Coventry, wasn't she?
She was doing the Radio 2 bit, and then had Florence and the Machine, who was good, but in performance, but her set list was just a bit all over the place. It was just like play a couple early on, get everybody happy, and then I watched a bit of Underworld on Saturday night, which was interesting because they are the classic band of, come on, just get to the one we know, just play Born Slippy, come on, just get it out of the way. I've got a few saved up on the iPlayer as well. Orbital played. I'm looking forward to seeing them because sort of band I'm quite into, and Ash I'm really looking forward to watching when I get some time as well.
Wow.
Because they
that's a good shout out.
I think there's something like 90 odd hours of programming off the back of it,
exactly,
so I guarantee there'll be something that you'll find to enjoy out of that.
Good stuff. I haven't really got anything for recommend this week other than go to the Summer Bash and wait till
the opportunity arises.
Wait for your pies until after the kiosks are shut. But no, honestly, people really do need to back our game. And if you can afford the time and the money, get out to watch games. Get watching games on the internet streams. Get watching games on the television channels. Push the sport. Be positive about the sport again, because it's really feeling like a doom and gloom session these days. And there's lots of genuine reasons to feel that way about our sport, but we shouldn't. We should be vocal in our disapproval of the way the game's being run and mismanaged. From our own governing body and from those clown shoes over the other side of the world as well, not wanting to release players for international matches, yet being perfectly happy to get players backing up from Origin games 2 and 3 days later in what they claim is a much bigger competition with much more ferocity. So get out there and watch games. Do make your views known and heard about the negatives, but don't let that stop you from enjoying the product on the field, which is still entertaining. In the Championship in the Summer Bash this weekend certainly highlighted that. If you get to go and watch a Toulouse game, were incredibly entertaining this weekend, for example. So do get out there and watch the great game.
And I will just put a little bit of a plug in on Saturday the 30th of June. Obviously, Coventry are entertaining Bradford, and we're making a bit of a day of it. So we've got some music on, barbecue will be fired up. We'll have lots of various things going on. There'll be some tri-tag rugby festivals going on. There'll be some. Yeah. We're getting some beers in, so there's having 3 different bars open throughout the day. So please do come down and get involved, because it should be an enjoyable day. Should be plenty of people around, and I'll be sticking around all afternoon and all evening. I'm staying over, so we'll be able to go.
Are you going to be DJing the whole festival?
We'll be going and enjoying myself. I don't actually know how much I'll be doing on the day, but I'll certainly be calling the main game and being involved in and around. So I'm looking forward to that, and it'd be nice to see as many people as we can there.
Yeah, brilliant. If anyone has got the chance of getting down there, please do so. I think it's my brother-in-law's 40th birthday, so I think I've got to go and do some family work. I've got June after next weekend is putting a lot of Emma time in. She's going to be pinning up her work at uni this week and getting it all marked and stuff, and then it'll be a degree show for a master's finishing off, and then I think I owe her some Mark and Emma time over the summer months. But do get along down to that if you can. I think it'd be a great event and great day out. Tri-tag rugby, do you know, I think it's taken off more, hasn't it, in the south than it has in the north, where probably you've got a bit more availability of actual contact rugby, and then people maybe tend to play five-a-side and that sort of stuff, football, to get the little bits of exercise. And I wish we had more of the tri-tag rugby up here. I'd certainly like to give it a go. But what it makes me think of why it's taken off so much down south and why it's strong down there is one of the key skills that you need for tri-tag rugby is the same as what you need for dealing with the underground. So every time, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Every time when the players are running and trying to dodge getting their tags ripped off and sort of swivel through a gap, it's just like those people running for the tube and just sliding between the doors.
It's the same skill, having a bit of spatial awareness, being able to deal with not a lot of space, because obviously we don't. House prices are expensive. Nobody's got much space. So you're used to fitting in a small gap, darting through, and making the best of what you got. And that's very much the skills you need.
Managing to get your hips fully twisted away from your shoulders and your ankles. Excellent stuff, Tim. Okay, next week it's going to be Sarah who's in with us next week. So hopefully it won't be the another Hull defeat that Sarah has to talk about when she's on the show. Hopefully they'll have a victory for her to talk about, because I'm feeling bad for her, bless her. People want to make donations to the show. You can do so using the link paypal.me/Super League Pod. The donations, of course, as you're aware, get used for us putting back into the community game, as well as paying some of the running costs of the show. Any person who's donated to the £20 level, I'm going to be arranging at some point to send out t-shirts. I'd much rather meet people at games and hand them out personally, but if I can't do that over the next month or so, over the next couple of months anyway, I'll arrange postage to anyone who's hit the £20 donation mark. If you've not reached £20 yet, but you do want to get involved in that, make sure you know keep the donations coming in. I'm also working on a £40 donation level gift, which will be a pint glass. Ooh. But I'm yet to see. I've kind of ordered some, but I'm dubious on. I'm concerned about what the quality might be like when they arrive. So it might be that I just give them out a different method.
We could run a competition
where we get to. Yeah, exactly. We'll see where we get to with that, but please do keep donating, because it helps make me feel good about what we're doing, and I can give something back to the Rugby League community from some of those donations, as well as covering my own costs here. Okay, people can find the show and share it from @SuperLeaguePod on Twitter and Instagram. Like I said earlier in the show, there's plenty on the Instagram this week. Facebook.com/SuperLeaguePod, where you can hear me screaming support for Dom to run around the Bloomfield Road pitch on a video on there that we put up over the weekend. superleaguepod@gmail.com if you want to send something in a little bit longer, or if you want to get in touch about any interest in sponsoring the show or anything else at all like that. superleaguepod.com is where you find the blog and also all the details for our existing sponsors and where you can make donations and that sort of thing. Search for the show on Spreaker or Apple Podcasts or Leaguecast Android app or the Podcast Addict app, or on YouTube, as well as different places to find the show if wherever you've stumbled across this episode isn't quite as convenient for you as other methods. And all that's left to do is thank Tim again for being on board. Tim, it's going to be a few weeks till we speak to you again, so enjoy your time off from the show, and we'll speak to you soon. Okay, thanks very much everyone for listening to your favourite Rugby League podcast, the Super League Pod.